welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I'm Ada, and today we're going to be talking about mental health, and I want to start doing these Mental Health Monday videos. I will do my best to get them out every week. I want to start by saying that I myself do have mental health issues. I have anxiety, depression, I do have ADHD, but let's get into this video. I did post, I made a post on the community tab for my channel and asked you guys some questions that you guys would like me to answer for our first episode of Mental Health Mondays. If you guys hear my children in the background, they are around here. I do have 3 children, so okay, so the first question, I'm just going to read them off and then answer them. Don't you have a conscience? Don't you feel bad? Acting like a monster, don't you feel sad? What, in your opinion, is the most common misconception and stereotypes of people with mental health, and how can we break those stereotypes? I would definitely say that the biggest misconception or stereotype of people who have any type of mental health issue is that we are crazy. Sometimes people with depression, people will think that they're lazy. Even with ADHD, people will think that we're lazy because, you know, we can be disorganized even though we try really hard to be organized. So we may also seem kind of like lazy, or what's the other word? Or like kind of like we don't care because we'll be late to things, but it's not for lack of trying. It's just our time management skills for people with ADHD. That is something that is a struggle. But it's also, you know, sometimes people will think that you're, you know, weak if you go and, you know, you're on medication or you go see a therapist. Some people will say like, oh, you're weak if you go see a therapist. You're weak if you get on medication. But it's the complete opposite. It takes a lot of strength to sit there and be like, I have this problem that I need to deal with, and to actually seek the help for it. And that's the thing with mental health, is that a lot of people will shame you for trying to get help so that you know, your mental health is better. And there is honestly no shame in getting help for your mental health, because like I said, I am in therapy, and I feel that it really does help. You do have to find the right therapist, because I have been through a ton of therapists. Now I do it from my house. I just do virtual therapy. My therapist, she does live in the same city as I live in, but I do not have the time to go to a physical therapist. So it's easier for me to have a therapist and a psychologist. Or is it a psychiatrist? I think it's a psychiatrist. Yeah, it's easier for me to have a therapist and a psychiatrist virtually, because I'm able to just do it from my house, so therefore I'm not as anxious, because I did struggle with a ton of anxiety just driving to a therapy place. Sitting in the waiting room gave me extreme anxiety. It did not work for me, and a lot of the therapists that I did see locally before the awesome one that I have now, they never said anything. Like, I would talk to them and they would give no type of feedback, you know, anything. So you might have to go through a couple therapists to find one that works for you, but that's totally okay, and it's totally normal. But definitely no shame and taking care of your mental health, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Dating while wearing diapers. And you know, so this person said that they're depressed because they have trouble finding someone who will look past and accept it. They wear diapers because of a physical disability. My thoughts on that, whether it is for a disability or whether it is, you know, for a kink or anything like that, I feel like dating while in diapers is really going to be the same as really any type, especially if it's for disability. You're going to have people who are going to be accepting. You're going to have people who are not accepting. You are going to have to disclose it. You maybe not on the first date, maybe not on the second date, but once it becomes clear that your relationship is getting to a serious point where you're like, yes, I definitely want to pursue a relationship with this person. You, in my opinion, I feel like you should just go ahead and be like, hey, I have to wear diapers, whether, you know, it's for disability or, you know, hey, I wear diapers because, you know, of childhood trauma and it's comforting to me, or you just wear diapers because you like to wear diapers. Whatever the case is, I feel like it should be disclosed towards the beginning of the relationship, not once you're kind of like, oh, hey, we're getting engaged or we're, you know, moving in together. That's, at that point, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure, because if that person doesn't accept it, you just wasted all that time with them and getting attached to them just to sit there, and if they don't accept it, you're going to get even more upset. But if it's kind of like after a couple dates and you're like, yeah, we're going to make this serious, we definitely want to be together, you want to disclose that because you want to know kind of upfront if that person's going to be accepting of it or not. Because the sad truth is some people are not going to be, and you can't change that. Just like, for an example, if my husband sat there and, you know, when we found out that our infertility issues were because my parts were not working correctly, you know, he could have been like, okay, well, then we're just not going to have any more children, you know, because my other 2 children are from my previous marriage. And, you know, he could have been like, then we're just not going to have children because obviously IVF is extremely expensive. And, you know, he could have been like, nah, I'm not worried about it. We're just not going to have children. You know, so it's kind of on the same line with those type things where it's like, if you know that you have infertility issues, like I didn't, but if I had known, that would be something that, you know, I would want to tell my partner up front, because if they want children and I know that it's going to be hard for us, then we need to know up front, like, hey, these are going to be the things that we have to do if we want to have a child. Or even if you have, you know, like my oldest child has epilepsy along with some other medical issues, that may be something when he gets older that he's going to have to disclose to his partner, to be like, hey, you know, I do have epilepsy. You know, there is this possibility that, you know, I could have a seizure in my sleep. Just things like that. So that it gives the person that you're going to be with, or, you know, that you're interested in being with, it gives them the opportunity to kind of know what's going on with you and to make an informed decision as to whether or not they want to pursue a relationship and deal with that type of, I don't want to say stress, but if they want to deal with knowing that's, how would you phrase that, Cedric?
What's up?
Like, by telling someone that you have, like, if you have incontinence or you have epilepsy or you have, you know, any type of diabetes, anything like that, like, if you tell them kind of towards the beginning of the relationship, once you kind of solidify that you guys are going to, like, make it serious, I don't want to say, like, so that, like, they can make an informed decision to whether or not, like, they want, like, I don't want to say stress, because it's not really stress, but, like,
I mean, it's definitely like a potential lifestyle change, you know?
Yeah, okay, so, yeah, so, like, if they want to live like that, like, I don't know, like,
you're basically like disclosing, you know,
just basically so they are informed of what that relationship will entail. Like, if you're with someone who has diabetes, epilepsy, anything that requires, like, daily medication, you kind of want to know up front about that before pursuing a, you know, really serious relationship with someone, because maybe they're not up for the challenge that may present in a relationship. I'm really hoping I worded that correctly. How can one effectively promote healing/treatment in a workplace setting How do I effectively point people at EAP in a manner that will not come off as insulting or condescending? This one I think is really easy. For example, in the military, you know, we've ran into situations where we did not know that certain resources were available to us, and it kind of ended up biting us in the bum because we were unaware of these resources until it was too late. So the one thing that I can say would probably be the easiest possible way to point someone in that direction without insulting them or anything like that would simply to, you know, if you see them struggling with mental health, especially at the workplace, because there are situations at work that can cause mental health issues for sure. I dealt with it when I worked at a casino. I've dealt with it with like different places that I've worked at, and it would have been nice to know if there were resources available for the situation. But the easiest way to do it would just be to go up to that person and be like, are you aware of all of the resources available to you with our company? And maybe they'll say no, and then you can be like, oh, well, you know, there's this list of resources available. There's, you know, mental health things. There's, if you're struggling with like financial things, maybe there's a death in the family, and maybe they're not aware of any type of resources that the company provides for those things. And by letting them know of all of the different resources that the company offers, to include mental health resources, you can slip that in there without it coming off as offensive, in my opinion, because then you're not only giving them the resources for mental health, you're also giving them other valuable resources that the company offers. If you guys have anything mental health related that you kind of want me to discuss, please leave them in the comment section and I will definitely work on getting them out. I do plan to do videos on CPTSD because I know that there are a lot of people who maybe are struggling with this. There are also, you know, it's not as widely known as PTSD. So I am going to make kind of a series on that because it's going to be a multiple part thing because there is a lot of information on it. You know, anxiety, depression, ADHD, because these are things that I struggle with myself, and I want others to know that they're not alone in this struggle. But if you guys have anything kind of that you want me to discuss, or if you just want to share your story, please feel free to comment it down in the comment section. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And I hope you guys have an awesome, awesome day. And just know I'm always here if you guys want to talk. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.